Hey, this is Toast. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out our top-tier patrons. A big thank you to Nikki, Sean, Ian, Mace, Alan, Penny, Claire, Kit, the Jexbury Guy, Katie, and Simon. If you would like a shout-out and access to our bonus material, you can find us on patreon.com/dandiesindanger. For a one-time shout-out, you can also support us on ko-fi.com/dandiesindanger. That's ko-fi.com/dandiesindanger. As always, the best way to help us grow is to tell your friends. Subscribe, leave a review, or leave a positive rating wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you all so much for listening. And now, on with the show. Previously on Dandies in Danger.
Lord Bush reaches into his pocket, and this time he calls out, Amika. And who should appear but another Nathaniel?
Okay, guys, we need to be very careful because Cass already said that Nathaniel could fucking die in this arc.
I'm sure we can reach some sort of arrangement.
What do you have to offer?
I have got a Serpent's Oath ring set.
I'll retrieve them, but if one person is hurt, I will not hesitate.
We follow Zachary.
He's gonna go to Mr. Kane.
What's going on?
Does Colonel Gurney have a gun?
Yes.
You'll need it. Convince Beatrix. Convince her to come meet us outside the bathhouses with her gun.
I can do that.
He slips back into the shadows and heads to the attic. He goes and he finds the 2 serpent head rings.
Are you gonna take anything else from the attic?
There's one that just says jewelry box.
Because it has a tiger's eye brooch.
Oh fuck, there's gotta be spells in those bitches.
As you examine this tiger's eye brooch, you hear a little voice in your head. I'm like the power of earth and stuff. Put me on. Give me another wisdom roll.
5. You motherfucker. Why did you look around at other shit?
Why don't you fall into my trap? Come on, man, let's go knock some heads. We're gonna jump back down to the bathhouse. Bush is looking around.
Can I try to get him?
Yeah, roll me a d20.
Natural 20.
Let's go!
I could grab his ghoulies.
Lord Howard Bush rolled a 2. His head snaps back to the sky, and he says, "Oh my lord!" Nathaniel tumbles forward, free from his grasp. So now it is Liam's turn. At last, he is able to crawl to his feet. Daniel, you suddenly feel the dog being swept out away from you. All of the water in this blood-red pool is swirling down in a whirlpool towards that center point that Zach had noticed earlier.
Hi, my name is Elijah, my pronouns are he, him, and I play the voice of Zachary Wilkos.
Hi, I'm Cass. My pronouns are she, her, and I voice Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, he, she, they, and I voice Daniel Pritchard.
Hi, I'm Toast, pronoun she, they, and I play Adrian Edwards.
We're gonna start this session with Zachary. Zachary, we left you in the attic making a few unique acquisitions before you wanted to come on downstairs. And I'm going to assume that you're going to be traveling by shadow, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You enter out back onto the ground floor once again, and previously you had told Mr. Keene to fetch Beatrix and to acquire the Colonel's gun to meet you downstairs. When you reach the ground floor, however, you find that Beatrix is there, but also Father Underwood, Colonel Gurney, and Mr. Keene are there. It seems that Colonel Gurney is unwilling to hand over his gun, and they are all 4 of them standing and staring agape at the lights emitting from the clock.
Quick question, what kind of gun does Colonel Gunny have again?
Colonel Gurney?
Whatever.
He's got a handgun.
Mid-range shot or long shot?
You could have a range of fairly accurately 60 feet, because we're going to use a sort of traditional D&D ranged weapon.
And Beatrix has her gun?
Yes, and I'm going to say same sort of range on that one as well.
Okay, so they both got handguns. All right. He pops out of the shadows This is no surprise to anybody, I imagine, anymore. This is old hat watching this little guy come out of the shadows.
I feel like Gurney hasn't seen that.
He was around when Zach did that. He just might not have been paying attention.
Now he is.
Well, actually, let me roll to see if he is paying attention. He's not paying enough attention.
Great.
Yeah, he is not paying enough attention. Everyone is staring at these sort of ribbons of light that are coming off of the clock. Beatrix, she hardly even gives you a glance. She just recognizes in her periphery whenever you arrive, and she nods her head towards the clock, and the light is flashing across her glasses, so it's sort of hard to read her expression. But she says, "That's one hell of a game of ribbon you've brought us down here to play."
Yes, well, he says, and he looks. There's the trouble in all of this. That's the problem right up there.
You sneaky bastard.
You talking to me?
That's why you had us play the ribbon game, for your symbolism, for tethers and connection.
Me?
You.
So
How
smart.
interesting.
Your wife's so smart.
Well, that's where all the trouble is stemming from, that clock right there. I did not actually expect both of you to bring Colonel Gurney. He nods to the Colonel.
Leonard is rubbing a hand down his face, and he says, "Well, he wouldn't hand over his gun to Mr. Keene. He insisted on keeping hold of his gun. I told him that we should have gone back to our rooms and let this all play out as it would. But he wanted to stay involved, I suppose."
No matter. Listen, there's a lot to explain and very little time to explain it, so here's a summary. Our gracious host, Lord Bush, is in there planning to steal all of your souls. In order to prevent that, there are some of my friends in there and some people you've already met trying to stop him. You all need to stay out here, but I need somebody with a good eye and a gun to climb up that clock and aim your gun at a particular someone. Currently, Lord Bush looks exactly like our current host, Nathaniel. I know who the real Nathaniel is. I will cover the real Nathaniel, and one of you must take aim at the remaining one, but not until I have covered him and safely removed him from Lord Bush. Understood?
Right. And then the colonel starts, marching over towards the statue, and Beatrix reaches her hands up onto his shoulder and just sort of gives a shake of her head. Father Underwood goes in and says, "See, what did I tell you? Just let her take care of it." So there's going to be a little bit of back and forth.
He's kind of turning to Mr. Keene, then.
Mr. Keene thinks for a second. He steps in and he says, "Is there anything the rest of us can do to assist while we're out here?"
Absolutely. But you must do it only after the real Nathaniel has been retrieved. That clock right there holds the tether to a lot of people's souls. It must be wound backwards, but only after Bush has been shot. I don't think the shot will kill him, I wish to clarify. I think it will weaken him a great deal, but it will distract him enough while, that's being turned back.
Can we take the clock?
I would not risk it. If you try to remove it, it could possibly damage the clock. If you damage it in any way, it will hurt the souls that are trapped within, killing them. We wish to free everybody, not kill them.
Right. Mr. Keene turns to Colonel Gurney and says, "Colonel, why don't we have her ascend the statue, and why don't we have you posted at the door in case our host should happen to come out to try to interfere with us? You could guard that post."
Actually, covering fire would be greatly appreciated.
Go ahead, you roll me an influence, and I will also roll influence for Mr. Keene, and we will take the average.
I got a 7.
Oh no. Mr. Keene got
Influence,
a 1.
actually, it's an 8.
An 8? Okay, so 8 is moderate, but Mr. Keene failed completely. So the colonel says, I can't let a young woman climb up there and put herself in harm's way. I simply shan't do it. I know I might be old, but I won't allow this to happen like that."
To be fair, I don't think she lets anybody do anything. So it's really up to her, isn't it?
She's already climbing the statue.
And she's already climbing the statue. So,
Okay.
Colonel Gurney, we all have our positions, and I must beg that you take up the position of covering fire while she takes the eagle eye shot.
He paces for a second, then he turns back and he says, "Is there any way to get through those doors?"
I will figure out a way, but for now I must climb through that window up there. Time is of the essence, sir, and... Can I hear fighting happening?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I think things have gotten a bit more wild in there.
He purses his lips and his mustache kind of puffs out a little bit. So he's not going to do anything at the moment, but I will say that there's a possibility that he might be prone to some acts of heroics later on, because between you and Mr. Keene, you didn't really convince him to take up his post. Okay. So you get the sense that's a loose end, but you've got other stuff going on right now. So,
Mr. Keene and Father Underwood, I have one request.
Mr. Keene stands ready, and Father Underwood looks a little harried, but he's listening.
I'm going to try and retrieve Nathaniel and extricate him from the room. I must beg, though, that you take him out of the room. I'm going to remain in it and continue to fight Lord Bush. My friends are in danger.
Mr. Keen nods and he says, yes, I'll help. Roll me another add influence and I'll see what your relationship is like.
16.
That is a success. Yay. Father Underwood seems so out of it that he just sort of like shrugs his shoulders and he's kind of like, yeah, I guess this is where we're at. Fine. So that's what they are up to at this moment.
And then Zachary's gonna go follow Beatrice and climb the statue to get to the window.
Beatrix has a 14 to climb, so that's a moderate success. So she's on her way up. She's not going to fall off. You go ahead and give me a roll to get up that. Even a moderate is going to be fine.
All right.
What?
I don't add anything, do I?
No.
Okay, it's just a 9.
9 is moderate.
Okay.
You're good. You're fine. Yeah. Your feet sort of scrabble along the marble as you're climbing back up again. Your muscles feel really strained and worn out from everything that's been happening tonight and having been awake for so long.
Oh, and also I'm partially possessed by a little tiger's eye brooch now.
Yeah. It's still there.
Wow.
We're going to jump back in to our combat. As we re-enter this combat, I would like everyone to go ahead and check your character sheets again to let me know who is at full fright and operating at disadvantage and who is unfrighted.
Zachary is at full fright.
Adrian's full fright.
Daniel is only at 5 fright.
Liam is not quite yet at full fright. Zach, go ahead and give me an initiative roll, if you please, and then we're gonna wait a turn before we bring you in.
That's a 3.
Oh.
I've also put Nathaniel in the turn order. So, just as a reminder, Adrian is on quite intimate terms with Mr. Bush, Lord Bush, right now.
Right.
Seeing as how this is the case, it should not be terribly surprising, having lost his hostage, that Adrian is Bush's target. After recovering his pose somewhat, he takes the sulfur and once again strikes against his dagger, shouting "Ignem arma mea protege," and is going to make an attack roll on Adrian, who is right behind him. He's going to take the dagger to sort of thrust it backwards.
Oh no, God.
So, this flaming dagger, that is a 14 to hit. Oh, plus he has a proficiency, so that's actually 17 to
I mean, the
hit.
14 already got me.
Yeah, but that'll also impact the damage. Okay, so we're going to, by Chess's rules...
Say goodbye to Adrian.
By Chess's rules, we're going to say goodbye to Adrian. We roll the d20 for aiming, and then we're going to roll the damage. Sorry, my throat is breaking up. My voice is cracking. Because...
I just didn't know this is how he would go. Grabbed onto someone else's balls.
He grabs nuts, dies immediately.
Nuts and dies.
Well,
because we're going to roll the damage, multiply our d8 damage by 3.
multiply.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
I don't understand who that person was who wrote that back then.
We don't need to. I've been doing the math. We don't really need to know
don't
how
gotta
much
roll
this
it.
is. It's sufficient. You only had 9 hit points left.
Yeah.
He takes it and with not inconsiderable viciousness, takes it and immediately stabs backwards with this flaming blade right into Adrian's ribs, and it punctures through the lung. And Adrian, you can vaguely hear from the distance the sound of screaming, and you're not sure if it's Liam's, you're not sure if it's your own, but the corners of your vision go dark and you fall backwards.
Goodbye.
What about...
However, you received a gift. A boon from an angel.
Wait, can I just be like dramatically collapsed on the floor a little longer?
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a minute. Hang on.
Oh, my cheeks have gone pale. My little eyes flutter closed. Ah, my fingers let go of the balls in my hands in slow-mo.
The balls fall from your fingers.
Yeah. Slowly.
No, he like falls, his hand falls onto the ground, and then his fingers uncurl and 2 balls roll out.
Yeah.
Oh my
took
god.
them with me.
However,
Thank you.
wait, we need another moment?
Nah.
Okay. Dorothea and Daniel and Liam, everyone is also able to witness this as Adrian goes down. There is a sound sort of like the delicate sound of shattering glass. There's a warmth that spreads from your chest, sort of like a tree emerging from that place of warmth in your ribs. And the first thing that you notice again as you come back to your senses is the smell of something fresh. It cleanses your nose of the smell of blood that pervades the room. It smells almost like your mother's garden as this warmth emerges from your chest and heals the wound that had dealt you the final blow. And you are returned to full health.
He gasps and he sits up. He says, "Oh, you prick."
Bush does a double take as he turns to look behind him. And you can see just past Bush on the opposite side of him, you can see that Liam looks like he's going to cry, but his eyes are wide and he's staring at you agape. And now it is Dorothea's turn. Dorothy is going to run in to make an attack against Bush. She runs up the stairs from where she was with Daniel after having made sure that he's no longer at risk of being pulled back into the water. She swings with her cane, aiming for his kneecaps, trying to absolutely just take him down as quickly as possible. She lands a hearty 5 damage, and Bush spins around towards her going, "Oh hell!" as he takes a solid crack to the knee.
Damn. Eat shit.
Next we have Liam to attack, but he has no proficiency with this serrated knife, and he only gets a 5, so he is unable to make this attack. He comes swinging in, but he's still rather distraught. He's going to miss his attack, but he will sort of use his forward momentum to keep running past Bush so that he's closer to Adrian. Adrian, it is your turn. Liam is sort of hovering in front of you and looking at you somewhat desperately.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did I, see anything as I was dead for, 0.2 seconds? This might be kind of a big question.
What you saw was actually a profoundly bright light. Sort of like...
My soul.
Sort of like the threads, the roots that you see in the room around you, but it was present all around you.
Liam's in front of him.
Yeah.
It's me. Liam, did you see what I did? I got him. Are you okay?
Liam doesn't say anything.
Oh no.
You can see that his legs are trembling, though.
I don't have anything on me, do I? No, I still have a hammer.
Yeah, if you still have the hammer, I'll say right on.
Okay, Adrian's gonna be like, "It's all right, Liam, I've got this." And he hoists out his hammer, and he's gonna try.
Liam shouts. Liam just is like, "No!"
Yeah! I'm
Hard to
invincible.
Yeah, right on. Do what you want to do.
Okay, I'm gonna try to smash him with my hammer. Am I behind or in front of Bush?
At this point, he turned to Dorothea, so you are at his side.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna try and smash him in the head.
Okie dokie.
Disadvantage, I got a 9.
9 is a moderate success.
5.
Bush has a split second where he sees you come in for his head, and knowing that his shield is down, he throws up his forearm to block your hit, but you do hear a pretty sick crack as you smack the forearm, and he's looking at you aghast whenever he sees that you're upright again, and you can see that his will has been somewhat shaken as he's evaluating you anew.
He goes, "Haha, can't get my soul." I don't have one.
Okay, and Daniel, it is now your turn.
Daniel gets up and immediately regrets it. He goes, because of his leg, his injured leg, and he can't really put weight on it. Let's see if I have any spells. Nope, I've used all my spells. So he just has his axe. Is there anyone near me?
Dorothea is closest to you, but she's ultimately right up close to Bush.
So Bush is kind of close to me as well.
Yeah, within your own movement, you would be able to reach him in order to make an attack if you wanted to. Nathaniel is also there. Oh, yeah. He had kind of stumbled forward, so at the moment he's kind of to the side of Bush.
Can I use one of my witnesses to see if what's going on with the clock and everything and get a wide perception of the room, and if anyone is up near the clock, maybe he notices it?
Yeah, excellent use of a witness. By this point, you can look towards the clock. You can see all of these ribbons of light emanating from the clock. And you can also see, with her sick-ass shining anime glasses, you can see that Beatrix has mostly gotten herself up into position there and is getting herself positioned to take that shot. And you said you're examining the room in general, right?
The room in general.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. To give you the full details on the full room, I'm gonna take both of your witness tokens. just because you would have to do like a full 360 to get the full scope of the room, but I'm gonna give you some good stuff. With that first token, what you saw was Beatrix getting into position. You get to see the clock yourself. You can definitely tell that that's where these roots are attached. You can make the connection that this is what Bush has been using to empower himself, because you were one of the ones who was looking over this. You can see the water itself is making a kind of whirlpool towards the center point. And so you can surmise that while these waters might have the healing properties that Zach has been talking about, it might be a little bit treacherous to try to just jump in there and get a little gulp of it. So if you wanted to do that, extreme caution would be necessary. You can see to the far other side of the room where those statues are arrayed in a semicircle, and 7 of them still have a small orb activated and ready to cast. The center statue has a goblet in its hand. This, I will say, strikes you as unique because Adrian has been bragging about having stolen a goblet from the statue.
There's a new one?
There's a new goblet. The last piece of information that I will give you is that also on the far side of this semicircular wall, you can see that there is, I would almost call it the silhouette of a dog hoisting itself out of the water, and it's a silhouette carved in blood because the blood is dripping down over its body, rendering it more visible because it's sort of covering over it, and it's hoisting itself out of the water onto the far side of the wall. So the dog has not fully left combat, but it has been removed from combat for maybe a turn or two. So you can tell that that's still a threat on the opposite side of the room, is that the dog might be coming back around.
I think he can't do anything about the orbs because he wasn't in the bathhouse earlier. Otherwise, I would have him maybe try to go over and shove the axe into the spell, but he doesn't know that those spells exist. With his hurt leg, I think he's just gonna keep his eye on the dog. Could he tell how quickly Beatrix was ready to shoot, i.e., is it gonna be her turn next? Can he tell that he needs to warn people to step away from Bush now, or should he wait till later?
You can tell that it might take a turn before she's fully ready. So you know that there's still some time while she's getting set up to line herself up for the shot so that she can brace herself.
Then he says nothing about Beatrix, and he is kind of straddling his attention between what's happening with Bush and then with the dog. I think he would try to get Nathaniel's attention, at least tell somebody about the dog, and he tries to get Nathaniel's attention, and he points to the dog, and he says, "Look, the dog!"
Okay. Nathaniel will look at Daniel's poor beaten body with abject horror as he sees what's been done to him, and then follows his finger across the room towards where the dog is scrabbling back towards the fray. He doesn't nod his head. He seems to be quite in shock, poor thing. Zach, it is at this point that you are able to climb up to the window and go ahead and give me your roll. You want to just jump back down on the insides, scoot past the clock to get in to the bathhouse, yes?
Yeah, but before that, I want him, while he's up there and out of the danger, I want him to see if he can spot Nathaniel.
Okay.
The Nathaniel.
Okay. You will be able to see real Nathaniel is obviously the one wearing his nightshirt, and it would be pretty clear since Dorothea and Liam and Adrian are trying to beat up on the other guy. It's fairly obvious who's who in this case. You won't be able to, unless you want to hold your turn and just make your attacks from up here, you can do that, but you would still have to wait a turn, so...
Okay. No, everybody's attention is still on Lord Bush, I guess. Yes. He's next to Beatrix, right?
Yes.
Okay, so while he's up there, he says, "Good, this is no longer a hostage situation. That one," he points, "the one that everybody is attacking is Lord Bush. I will cover Nathaniel. Do not shoot until I cover him."
I've got you.
Now I'll use this turn to get down there.
Nice. Okay, roll me your d20.
It's a 2.
Oh. He falls.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, such a cool line, and then what an idiot move.
I think, okay, so here's what happens. It's not exactly that you aren't taking great pains to do it carefully, but what happens is that even though the brightness has been accounted for by Carrion, your head is really, really close to the locus of everything that's going on, and you have to crawl past the clock to get through this little window. and so you brush up against it and you touch the body of the clock again as you're moving past it, and you get just like that flash of so many different lives that have all been twined up into this thing that it's incredibly disorienting, and you do fall, and I'm just gonna roll you a d4 on damage.
All right.
That is a 2 for damage, and additionally, Bush and Nathaniel have noted your presence now.
Okay.
It is now Nathaniel's turn, but as he stands there and he sort of looks between Zach and Daniel and maybe instinctively takes a few steps towards Daniel, Bush fixes his eyes upon Nathaniel and gestures with his dagger and says, "Drive him into the waters now." Zach, you can see this because you fell down fairly close to where Nathaniel is. You can see that the lights that have sort of infiltrated his entire body, it all sort of twitches as he's being told to do this. And it spasms a few times as he sort of balls up his fists and puts them towards his face. But he is unable to resist this, and he charges at Daniel. He sprints at him full speed to push him back into the water because Daniel did not move very far away from the edge of the bath.
Daniel looks heartbroken and betrayed.
Daniel, if you were watching him, you could also see the lights within his body doing this. The two of us are going to roll a d20.
I'm gonna spend one of my luck points, because I got 2 of them. I'm gonna spend another of my luck points.
Because that was a 1. I saw that.
Okay, I got a 12.
That'll do.
Okay, he got an 11.
Oh my
Okay.
Okay, my luck is
And so he runs towards you full force, and he sort of jumps himself forward off of the stairs a little bit, and he wraps his fists into the front of your waistcoat and tries to start pushing you backwards. He's got his full body leaning into you, and it hurts your leg as you're forced to stand backwards to keep yourself from being pushed back any further. How do you keep him at bay?
He's like pushing against him, and then he looks into his eyes, then he puts his head against Nathaniel's head, like they're touching heads.
I love it so much. Okay.
Sort of like goes this like, I know it's not you, but also stop.
He's sobbing. He's got tears running down his face, and he just sort of quietly mutters, "Please, please." You can see the tether that reaches out from his body and goes back towards the clock itself as well.
I jork it. I'm just kidding.
This is what a beautiful tonal dissonance episode. Amazing.
He does not do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he just holds him and goes, ugh, because his leg.
Okay. The hound spends its turn running around the edge where previously Zachary had been walking whenever he was investigating the statues earlier. And now it is Bush's turn once again. Oh, you're gonna be so mad, but I did this on purpose. Okay. Bush is going to use one of his spells. Bush reaches back into his pockets. He pulls out a piece of bone that has a little bit of twine wrapped around it. And he shouts out the phrase, "Liga," at Zachary.
Oh, son of a...
He rolled a 19. Zachary, you feel your arms snap to your side and your legs snap at attention, and you have been bound.
Cool. For how long?
He got a 19. So for 30 minutes. Unless somebody kills him.
For 30 minutes, Cassidy?
So Beatrix shouldn't take the shot until Zachary covers Nathaniel.
Can he speak? Can Zachary speak while bound?
Yes, I think so. Let me double check this.
He's like a nutcracker right now. All mouth.
I'm so angry. I'm so mad. This throws an entire wrench in everything.
Bush looks over at Zachary, and some of his smugness is coming back, and he pulls the corners of his mouth down with a sort of faux apologetic expression, and he goes, "Oh, sorry about that," and turns his attentions back to his attackers, his more immediate attackers. It's Dorothea's turn again. She's gonna go in for another hit. And she also gets a 19.
Yes! Get him.
So she is going to deal some fairly significant damage.
That's my wife, says Dan. No, just kidding. Not yet. Someday, maybe.
Bush is looking considerably bloodied at this point. Whenever she swings again, she makes sure to aim the head of the lion towards the same knee that she cracked the first time. And this time, Bush now walks with a little bit of a limp. He's barely able to sort of keep himself upright, and it's obvious that he has sustained a great deal of injury on that one knee. And so he can't brace himself quite as well to make his physical attacks. Now it is Liam's turn. Liam is going to go in with the knife once again and try to extricate Adrian from the situation. 13 to hit. Nice. Okay, so Liam gets to do 7 damage. So he comes in hot. He scoots around to the opposite side of where Dorothea is attacking from and gets him across the back for 7 points of damage. Okay, Adrian, you are up.
Okay, would I have well enough witnessed what happened with Nathaniel being ordered and running over to grab Daniel?
Yes.
Can I grab Nathaniel's soul tether?
Go for it. You'll have to sort of move away from Bush, but we're not going to do any attacks of opportunity at this point.
I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to try to grab that, and mainly Adrian's thinking is just like trying to yank Nathaniel away as if it is a rope.
Roll and add wisdom.
Is this disadvantage?
No, this isn't. No.
Okay.
No disadvantage on this.
Natural 20.
Yeah!
Holy shit. Okay, let's go. This is incredible.
Yay!
As you grab onto it, you feel, first of all, innervated with an incredible power. Like a massive amount of magical energy bursts through your arms and like up into your chest and your head, so you feel lightheaded for a second. And quickly upon the heels of that, you basically sense Nathaniel. And you sense a few different things. You sense his anguish. That's the first thing that you feel right off the bat, because he feels trapped, he feels guilty, and he is, honestly, at this point, he is desperate for Daniel to just push him into the water so that he doesn't have to be the one to hurt anybody else at this point. You also sense something else, something more insidious with that nat 20. It's the sense of duty. At the base of everything, you can tell that even if he wanted to, Nathaniel is unable to disobey his master. And Bush has taken that position. Tell me, you looked at the clock, did you not?
Yeah, I unwound it a little bit.
And Zach had you look at the words on the clock, but you were so tired and exhausted at that moment that you weren't able to go back to your Latin classes in order to put it all together. But in this moment, the words from the clock come into your mind, perfectly translated and with a sort of innate understanding of what's going on. The words officium mensuratur horis vitae. Duty is measured in hours of life. In aeternum servi domino tuo. Serve your master forever. And then below that, may your daughters embody your loyalty and your sons your sacrifice. In that moment, you realize this was the family curse. There's no demon in here. There's no demon whatsoever. The curse is the onus of duty to their master. And that's what's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. That's what Bush has been tapping into to make everyone else toe the line and basically suit their role. Those who had masters elsewhere returned to London. Those who had no master remained here in the house, and he became their master. You pull this, you feel Nathaniel's anguish, his desire to be free from this. You get a flicker of his bedroom, which, whether you've been in it or not, you see the travel posters that he's posted everywhere. This is what his heart longs for, is the ability to move past this, but he can't. And as you pull on that tether even harder, you can see that some of the other tethers start kind of rolling out along with it, unwinding as you pull it. All of the tethers start to loosen themselves a little bit as you pull on Nathaniel's tether.
I should have jorked it.
Daniel, from your perspective, you can see that Nathaniel has an expression of complete shock on his face. Like his eyes have kind of almost rolled back a little bit as someone has sort of tapped into this more intimate part of his soul. And he's just kind of like in shock, like he's no longer pressing against you to push you towards the water. He's kind of gone limp in your arms.
Instinctively, Daniel would yell at Adrian, "Don't hurt him!"
I'm not trying to.
And of course he would catch Nathaniel.
Yeah, okay. Daniel, it's your turn!
I don't know, he's just looking. He's looking at what's going on, and he's holding Nathaniel and checking to make sure, like, are you dying right now? And then he looks at Adrian, he looks at the tethers, and he sees the tethers coming out. And then he also is taking a moment to look at Beatrix to be like, assess, like, she ready to shoot?
She saw Zach seize up, and now she is just lining up her shot with Bush.
She ready?
So she's very close to being able to shoot.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then he shouts out to everyone, get down!
Okay. Did you want to still see what the dog doing?
Yeah, what the dog doing?
The dog is very close.
Oh, cool.
You can see it. It is sprinting forward, and some of the blood is dripping off of its body as it runs, but it is still fairly visible as this sort of bloody silhouette. It is charging for Zachary.
Rude ass.
Somebody's been watching you all night and has assessed who some of his greatest threats are.
Can I put Nathaniel down?
Yes.
Daniel has his mind on the dog and is going to gently place Nathaniel on the ground for Adrian to look after, I guess, and try to make his way to intercept the dog, and he's got his hatchet with him.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Yep, he gently places Nathaniel on the ground, says, watch him, to Adrian, and then limps quickly to the dog. Hand axe out, fully determined, being like, I've fought like 4 of these things before, I'm going to kill you.
Okay. You will not be able to make an attack on this turn, but in this case, once it gets to the hound's turn, I'll roll a dice. You get to call evens or odds, and that'll determine if the dog attacks you or attacks Zachary.
Okay.
But now it is Zachary's turn. Oh, now wait a minute. Because I have a gift for you.
Oh,
I have a gift.
how nice. What is it?
So you're lying there, bound,
Sure am.
and you hear a little voice in your head and says, yeah, man, that's the ticket, just take it easy. This is where it's all happening, man, right here on the ground floor, on the ground level. You feel that underneath us? You feel that?
Sure do.
You feel that?
Yes.
You know, I think everybody should feel what we're feeling right now. Are you feeling me?
I think I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I feel the ground. We've established that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be down here.
Everybody?
That's right. Yeah, come on, man.
He thinks about it. I mean, if Bush is down on the ground, he's also a way easier fucking target for... Like, there's no... Yeah. You're right.
Okay, so you're not going to try to resist this. I do want you to roll a d20, and that will determine what happens.
Smiling. Yeah, alright. 17.
Add your arcana.
22.
Beautiful. Roll me a d6, please.
4.
4, okay. So pick 4 people in this room to go down. Nathaniel's already down and you're already down. Now pick the other 4 that you want to go down. You are getting essentially an extra gravitas spell.
Yeah, Bush!
Okay, yes!
Dog.
Yes, no, shut up. Let me do it. I am smart enough. I can do this. Dog.
Yes, excellent.
Shit, I don't want to put down anybody else. Does it have to be people?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because if we take out 2 of the statues, that might be fun.
That is such an excellent question, and it is very much in the spirit of this stone of the earth, and so I'm gonna give it to you.
Yes!
Go ahead and roll me 1d20. If it's 1 through 5, you'll just re-roll it because you have the power of the stone here, so it's guaranteed to hit in some capacity.
His focus isn't the whole statue itself, his focus is the hands.
Love it.
10.
You feel the weight of the earth underneath you sort of greatly increase, first around yourself, and you almost feel like you're about to sink beneath the tiles, but then it ripples outward from you in a straight line, one towards Bush. What on Bush are you targeting exactly, just for flavor's sake?
Is Bush wearing a coat?
Yeah, he's got a jacket.
Yeah, just the full jacket. Inner?
Yeah. Because he can take his jacket off.
Oh yeah, the innermost shirt then.
Okay. Bush is pulled towards the ground, the dog is pulled towards the ground, and then the water actually ripples in 2 sharp lines as it goes across the water towards two of the statues.
And Zachary is just laying there like,
And you see these cracks split up along the center line of the statues and splinter towards the hands, and the hands crumble off and fall into the water, disappearing beneath the waves.
yes! Is there any more chance for me to yell, take the shot?
Yeah.
He just yells, take the shot!
Hell yes. Okay.
Just a wiggling fucking worm going mad with power. Not Zachary's most dignified moment.
Fantastic. Okay. The Hound and Bush are down for one turn.
Okay.
I mean, the other stuff, you've just demolished that, taken it out of the game altogether, so well done there. Adrian, once again, it is your turn. You are holding on still to Nathaniel's tether. You continue to catch glimpses of his life. You can see, as a young boy, him helping Tabitha in the garden, and she dangles a worm in front of his nose and chases him around in the garden. You see and feel the emotion of his father's funeral. You see him holding Emily as a little baby and watching her sort of summon a toy closer to her, and the kind of awe and love and fear that all comes bound up within that. You see him at his mother's funeral. You see the arrival of Bush into their life and how their fortunes improved as they were able to pay off their debts, and how it seemed like everything was turning around, but the world got grayer and grayer and grayer. And then at the very last, you're seeing the ribbon game from earlier tonight, and you're seeing him, from his point of view, glancing at Daniel throughout the evening. Okay, so what would you like to do?
Did I see Bush and the dog go down? Or am I not even really seeing anything around me at this point?
I don't think you can see anything around you right now.
Okay.
Because it's incredibly overwhelming to be directly connected with somebody's life force.
So could I tell that the other tethers were coming loose?
Yeah, because
Okay,
that's attached with the
I'll
what
just
you're doing
keep
right now.
pulling.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, as you continue to pull, go ahead and give me another d20 roll.
9.
That's a moderate, so roll a d4.
4.
4 more tethers come loose.
Haha.
However, at the end of your turn, the clock begins to strike 2. On the steps before you, Nathaniel's body seizes up in pain, and you share a small portion of that pain as well as the clock winds tighter again at that 2 o'clock. You're not entirely sure how this is happening since you've been unwinding it this whole time, but it sort of seems to wrap tighter around him, and you feel in your own self, you get kicked out of Nathaniel's mind for a spare moment. Give me a d20 plus wisdom.
Since it struck 2, I don't have any more wisdom. 8.
You aren't fully pulled under, but emotionally you are shaken to your core, because at this point now you feel the overwhelming sense of duty that you owe and are neglecting to your family, at least by the standards that you exist by.
Oh, God.
And so instead of existing within Nathaniel's mind and his sense of duty to his family and to Lord Bush, right now, the visage of your father floats before your eyes, and your duties as the firstborn son. The clock strikes 2. It's still chiming. The Hound struggles against the tiles, trying to move forward, but it still has lost its turn, thanks to Zachary's quick thinking. It is now Beatrix's turn, and the clock finishes its chime as she takes the shot.
Liked what you heard? Let us know by using hashtag #DandiesInDanger over on our Twitter, Insta, Tumblr, and TikTok in the listed links below. We'd love to hear any and all comments, questions, and theories as to where the story might be headed. Want to support us and our lads' adventures more directly? Then please consider clicking on the link and becoming a patron today. For just $1, you can gain access to our longer, uncensored outtakes and blooper reels. For $5, you can have access to exclusive stickers, in-world letters written by and for the lads, poetry by Adrian and Daniel, and original music from the show composed and scored by Chess Albanese. Can't afford to support directly? No problem. Podcasts survive by word of mouth, so if you like what you heard, tell your friends, family, and local graveyard ghosts all about these exciting tales. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Dandies in Danger is written and voiced by Elijah Bergateras as Zachary Wilkos, Cass as Liam Bardsley, Chess Albanese as Daniel Pritchard, and Toast as Adrian Edwards. It is edited by Toast. Original score and music composed by Chess Albanese.
It is produced by Dandies team and made possible by listeners like you.